incarceration. I read your opinion piece. I mean, today
Yes.
you wrote this opinion piece, USA Today, everyone can go read it, on why you think felons deserve the right to vote. And you point out in middle part through the piece.
Now, on that effort, I do support Bernie Sanders on that. Felons should have opportunity to vote for the simple fact they're still American citizens. Just because you do something stupid, commit a crime, if you're born in America, you're American citizens, especially those who are born here. Those who are born here. I yet still lean for those who have been through the process of becoming a citizen here. But if you've been born here, it is your natural birthright to have the ability to vote. Why? Why should somebody born here have a right to vote? Because it's part of their birthright. And as part of being part of the birthright, sometimes you have to vote for people who's going to push legislation that's going to alleviate the hard pain that you may have to deal with in prison. Because right now, prison is the new Jim Crow. And there need to be politicians that's going to help, because Jim Crow era didn't end in the 60s. Some of that stuff's still going on. So I support him in that effort that if you're born here, it is your birthright to vote. And you have to have that right to vote, to keep these people from taking you and sending you out in the forest fire, and you end up getting burned alive, and they only sending your family $1,000 for the funeral. Why? Because there's no law saying that you can't do that. Being behind the prison bars is oftentimes dehumanizing on purpose. Some people go crazy. Some people lose who they are there, being in those bars. And then you have legislation that helps speed up that process to get you out the way. So yeah, they should have a right to vote. Now, some people say, well, if they're in prisons, then they'll get a chance to control who they vote for. Not if you have legitimate polling people there to vote. I mean, what makes you think the prisoners can control the polling station in a prison? You still need to go in that polling booth alone. And it's still supposed to be the city and the state that running the polling booth, no matter where he is. So how you know, and that's one thing I don't agree with Tulsi Gabbard on, is those CEOs and those guards can't control what happened in that voting. A voting booth is a voting booth. It's still got to be done by the voting department. It's still got to be done with those same old voting machines. They still have to go behind that curtain and vote alone. So nobody's knowing who they voted for. Anyway.
That over 4.5 million Americans, disproportionately people of color, have lost their right to vote because they've served time. And so, Senator, on this issue, only 28% of Democrats or Democratic leaners say that this is very important to them, that the candidate that they support take this position. And I just wanted to ask you, why is this so important?
Well, who said this was important? He didn't bring up the question. Your organization brought up the question. You want to bring it up as a smear job against Bernie Sanders. And like I said, Sanders set himself up. Sometimes he set himself up to be smeared because he acts so condescending and cocky about certain things that he know it more than know it all, and he think he knows, he's the only one that knows what's right for America. And yeah, he has some popular platforms, but that doesn't mean you know everything about America. But CNN came up with that question. Bernie Sanders is not taking it to the next level. They try to use that as a smear job. CNN is trying to use reparations as a smear job on Bernie Sanders. They're not using it on Joe Biden or nobody else. They're only trying to use it as a smear job on Bernie Sanders. Yet Bernie Sanders is helping himself smear himself by not addressing this area properly. And then you talk about the impeachment. If he says he's for impeachment, it's going to turn off real lefties that support him. Of course, they're going to continue to support him about college, guns, Medicare for all, and climate change. So according to this, they say these are the very important issues, but none of their candidates are all for this stuff. Joe Biden is now for public college. They're now for Medicare. Joe Biden could care less about climate change. They talk the talk and don't walk the walk. And Joe Biden is not going to be breaking his back for gun control. Biden is not even going to be for impeaching Trump. Let me keep going and we're done.
You and your campaign.
Well, Brooke, I think you know how politics works. I was asked that as in a question. In fact, I didn't come up with it. It was asked the question, I gave an answer. And I think we should do what Canada does, what Israel does, what many countries around the world do. And that is to separate. If somebody commits a serious crime, they're going to go to jail. And if they're violent people, they may spend the rest of their lives in jail. That's the way it is. You pay a price when you commit a crime. But this is what I believe. At a time when the Republican Party and Donald Trump are working overtime to suppress the vote, to make it harder for people of color, poor people, young people to vote, we have got to make it clear, in my view, that if you are an American citizen, even if you do something terrible, even if you're a bad person, we cannot take away your right to vote, whether you're in jail or whether you left jail. Clearly, what Republicans are doing is trying to deny people of color the right to vote. And this is an issue I think we have to address head on. So even if you are in jail,
even
in
Democrats
my view,
disagree with you. I mean, I'm
well,
sure
fine.
saw what
Look,
Cory
one of
Booker
the
said.
Yeah, but let me say this, Brooke. 4 years ago, people disagreed with me on Medicare for All, raising the minimum wage to $15 an hour, criminal justice reform, spending $1 trillion on rebuilding our infrastructure. People disagreed with me. They'll disagree with me now. But you know what? I will tell you what I think, and that is if you're a citizen of this country, you have the right to vote. And I will oppose all efforts to try to deny Americans the right to participate in our democracy.
Okay.
Hey, thank you for watching that episode of the Rob Report. Before you go now, I need you to do two things for me. First thing, I want you to like the video if you liked it. Second thing, I want you to share it all across social media. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Stop and do it. As Jimmy Dore says, sometimes you think you're subscribed and you go check and find out you're not subscribed. So make sure you check that you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. That'll let you know when I put a new content out. I'm not a fan of Super Chat, so if you plan on giving to the efforts of Bob TV, make sure you do that through Bob TV NYC at paypal.me. Anybody who want to have free access to my Patreon channel, I'm trying to save you money on your cable bill. I ran into a program that I think everybody need, everybody can afford, and everybody should have, and that link is down there below. 5,000 plus channel, best sports package, and the best premium TV, and even international channels, and you can access this all over the world. Go ahead and check that out, get your free trial, and if you decide to support, become members of those two services, we'll go ahead and give you full access to the Patreon channel, and there's no cost to it. So my name is Robert Brown with the Rob Report. Thank you for watching. I'll holler at you later. Peace.